Shula. Hating bitches block my medulla. I showed the bitch my pen, then I schooled her. Try to essay them in my chula. Don't cheat the dime, don't cheat the dean, don't cheat supreme, that's my hula. Freaky little, sneaky little, creepy little whack bitch. Creeping on me, speaking on me, sleeping on me, mattress. Now I got some hands to burn and bars to bend them backwards. It's time to wake them up, cause they...
What is up, y'all? I know I'm late. Listen, y'all hear Tia, she on live. Now, Stoney did an interview. We don't go there to watch Tia Kemp live, and then we're going to go to how all this started.
No. This ain't what the streets is telling me. Then she was crying and calling around begging that Will wouldn't even pay for the funeral. If Will paid for that funeral, that girl had her mom in the clear casket and she had it all over her page. She showed the world she went all out for her mama. Trust me. Fly doves everywhere, parrots too. I'm telling you.
I'm going to let y'all listen.
It's the truth. Am I lying? She's a star, ain't she? Whatever we got, so mama, she didn't tell nobody that, did she? And do she speak on it? Do she got a long little mama in the bio? I know she got dark circles around her eyes. She gonna need some of this Tones by Coco dark circle. I correct her because that got me stressful. You know? It's gotta be, man. What you mean? Rich man told her, get it out of the mud. Daddy told her. Girl, we don't get off my line, get out of the mud. And you better hope that bitch Tia don't find out what the fuck went on. Cause it's gonna be up. That the fuck he told her. What the fuck went on? Cause it's gonna be
I don't know why it's black, y'all, but just listen. Hold on, y'all.
So that's why she really don't like me now. And her main reason is this too. That girl is so disgusted and mad that everybody know, and I know, that she had a child from her mama ex-husband. This is the main reason why she had never liked me. She had never, ever liked me. Because that's something that I know about her. And I said to her whenever she fucking played with me or tried me. When I lived with him, she would call the house phone, play on the house phone. Oh, that's why he got me a car. That's why he got me this. Bitch, the first car he bought you was a beetle bug. Any bitch requests a beetle bug with 2 children as their first car when a nigga just saw hustling. Bitch, you got to be the most stupidest bitch in the motherfucking world, ho. The motherfucking world, bitch. This bitch asked for a fucking beetle bug. You was right around it. Beetle bug, bitch. When I was in a big ass QX Infinity 56 paid for, bitch, I don't give a fuck what the case may be, ho, but it would have been Benz or Beamer or some shit like that if I had a couple churn. Ho, listen, you stupid ass, slow ass bitch. You're so goofy and slow, ho. You're just that what you is, a bug. I never forget this shit. And they used to laugh about this shit so much. Oh, she wanted a bug out of all the kinds of bugs.
Now, this all started because Stoney did an interview. And Stoney's been talking about, she's on Rags to Riches with Stoney, and she's been talking about, the show but she also have been talking about. Let me go to ball alert. Stoney got dragged for this. Let's see. Stoney got dragged for it. Stoney got dragged by a lot of people because she was talking about the parenting of Rick Ross. Um, Basically, she was discussing like she's the better baby mama. Um, he did more for her kids than he did for her kids on Tia Kids on Carlos King interview. So this all came out when Stoney kept speaking on her. Now, this is not the first interview she did because she did an interview with Jesse Wu. It was like, I don't know why she don't like me. So we're gonna go into this, and then we're gonna play a little bit more of Tia. But you gotta know a reason why she don't like you. So this is why Tia is on live now. Here we go.
Y'all don't get along?
No. Well, I don't have a problem with Miss Thing. She has a problem with me. So
What's her problem with you?
I mean, look at me, Carlos. I'm a fan favorite. At the time, I gave her my sloppy seconds. At the time, I was done with baby daddy at the moment. We were ending our relationship at the moment, and I gracefully bowed out. He had not made it big yet. He was still in the works of becoming.
Now, the reason why she getting this backlash, because remind you, she just told the world that her and Rick Ross had sexual interactions since last year.
Rick Ross. What happened was he made it big, and I feel like she felt like I was the only one obligated to him financially because of the baby. And she comes across as a woman that wants him all to herself. She wanted to be the only one, like, it's me, it's my kids. Like, she has 3 other kids before him. Like, girl, what are you talking about? He's all yours. He was
At camp? Are y'all friends?
No, we're not.
Y'all don't get along?
No. Well, I don't have a problem with Miss Thing. She has mine first. And I gracefully bowed out at the moment, and she didn't like that. And then I think his mother adores me. His mother is my mother. Like, that's my second mother. And I think she's just jealous. She was jealous of that. She was jealous of relationships. She handled me. And after the fact, I think she wanted me to go away and die, me and my kid. She just wanted us to go away, never come back. And that's just not how it works. The way he handles her is very differently how he handles me. He's always put me in brand new cars, 0 miles, brand new off the lot, plastic still on the seat. He's always put me in homes, not apartments.
Oh my
I've
God.
always been in homes. My children have lived in 2 homes that he's purchased, and they're 26 mine first. And I gracefully bowed out at the moment, and she did not like that. And then on top of, I think in 23 years, my children bounced from apartment to apartment, living it, with mom and sister and sleeping on someone's couch. And, my daughter didn't have to call and beg for her dad to get them an apartment because they were sleeping on their grandmother's couch. So, yeah, I think because of how he handles me versus how he handles her. But again, I'm not embarrassing. And his mother.
So when I saw this, I was like, girl, I hate to say this, and I like Stoney. It was giving pick me, and I hate to say this, but it was giving, oh, well, as long as I don't say anything, let him do what he want to do. He come and sleep with me when he feel like it. We're cool. Stony, y'all about to be grandparents. Stony, you've been with other men. Stony, sweetheart, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. He don't treat y'all no better than the women he dated from that he gonna be with for now and then go to the next baby. You're not special. Just because you're the first baby mama, you're not special. You should know how this man moved better than Tia. And for Tia to be the second baby mama, that shouldn't even be the case. But let's continue.
Oh, Stony, that was like a book. Like that was
oh my God.
Shawty, what are your thoughts on all that, girl?
I'm definitely gonna make a movie.
I'm just trying to process.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was like a novella. Like that was giving me very much okay. I
mean, but I call it
no comment. I don't want no smoke.
Like I've
no
never,
comment.
like I said, I've never had a problem with this lady. I've never had like her. It's her issue is like I would love for her to come and sit and tell me what's her problem. What's your problem?
So hi Tia Kim. I know you only respond to bookings, so
girl,
out of my moderating a conversation between you and Stony, I'll reach out to you. Watch the full video. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel at @TheCarlosKing_.
Now that was on Carlos King a couple of days ago. So this is why Tia is now responding. Tia had did some like response, but Tia ain't respond now like she responded, honey. Let's see if I can get the video to pull up. If not, honey, we just. Okay. Well, we're just gonna listen because she's still going. Hold on, and then we're gonna jump into the other folks. We ain't gonna listen to you too long.
This so used to call and play on this man house phone with me there. Oh, yeah, you got me and come like, man.
She typing right now, y'all. Okay. So now she's watching the show. All right, y'all. So basically, this all started, like Stony said. But let's finish. So, this is why I'd be like 50 Cent. I don't know why you be talking about people. 50 Cent had an issue with Rick Ross, and this is the real reason of 50 Cent issue with Rick Ross is because Rick Ross' baby mama sued her because her ex-boyfriend sent her to tape during the beef. And she sued 50 and the ex-boyfriend for millions of dollars and more. Y'all know 50 Cent don't like to lose and 50 Cent don't like his money going away. But he did revenge corn. So that's why I was kind of taken back when he did the whole Diddy thing because this came out in the early 2000s when the beef was brewing and started. She made a tape giving fellatio, Stony, to her ex-boyfriend. Her ex-boyfriend got mad that they broke up, and she decided to call. When she found out about that girlfriend, she decided to call the girlfriend, have a conversation, and she broke up with him. And she was like, well, since I'm crying, everybody gonna cry. And sometimes, ladies, this is why I say bow out gracefully, because when you do too much, and you know we done did a lot of things with this man, sometimes it's best to bow out gracefully, let that man go live his life and move forward, because that wasn't the man for you. So she called the girl, had a conversation, let the girl know. And then when she sat there and let the girl know, and Tia shared, side note, Stony Mama death certificate. But anyway, she let the girl know that he was cheating and this and that, and it was about her and XYZ. So she felt like because it wasn't just her, it was a problem. But they had a long distance relationship. So he was in New York, she was in Miami, taking trips to see him. But of course he gonna cheat. Like, let's be real. So Stony woke up on her birthday and found out that the tape was everywhere because Rick Ross' sister called and told her. That is the bad story. Now Tia and Kim got upset. They had their issues and she went to 50 Cent. So she was like, oh, that's why the thing of, doing it for the family comes from. That's where they come from. So my thing is, you know, here's my thing. 50 Cent can't speak on nobody sharing no videos with when Cassie and all that crap. I'm being honest. I guess he turned on a new leaf, but he really can't because everybody gonna bring this up. Now that this girl is on TV, 50, I hope you know everybody's gonna bring it up. Everybody finna bring it up. When I say everybody, everybody finna bring it up. Everybody. Okay? So let's move forward. Now, let me see how long this video is first. Before we get into so we can know how to play it. So hold on, let me see if I can find his Instagram. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm looking for somebody. I'm trying to see when did he do this video, and I'm trying to find him. Let's see. Hold on, y'all might hear me. So, hold on, give me a minute. Go ahead, hold on, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm back. So I know what we're gonna watch first because this here, honey, is hold on, face? No. So Nell's daughter or stepdaughter. Okay. So Nell's stepdaughter did a part two called Siblings. Hold on. Nell Fletcher, Mrs. Nell, her stepdaughter did a part two called Siblings, where she speak on the siblings. Let me get her name. I don't know why I keep forgetting this girl's name. I know it's a Lacey, but I gotta get her name. And I follow her. Ain't that something? So now stepdaughter did something called Siblings. Lacey. Now Lacey, we talked about Lacey. Lacey been uploading every Friday, we'll say every Wednesday to Thursday. Okay, every Wednesday to Thursday, right? And Lacey decided to share with us, she wanted to talk about the situation between her stepfather, her father, Mrs. Nell's husband, and also her siblings and what happened on the show. So people get she said people get an understanding of what it was like being their stepdaughter now and why they are the way they are, honey. That's what she told us. She said, so people get an understanding of why they are the way they are. And I said, okay, well, you know, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, you know. So she decided to take us on the ride. Now she has released part 2. Let me let it load. She released part 2. She said, okay, if I'm gonna talk about everybody, I'm gonna talk about everybody from the siblings to the step parents on down. Let's get this video started. Find a way to clean my keyboard now. Hold on. Because my keyboard didn't work at first, but we finna get it together. Hold on. Let me go to my YouTube. So I can pull it up and put it in my thingy, and we're gonna talk about it. It's the same and watch later. Great. Let me go over here. We finna look at this. We're gonna talk about it, and then I got something else we're gonna talk about too. Because when I heard this, I say what? So I said, huh? So I said, yeah, girl. And so I said, what? When this happened? How long ago was this? We gonna get into that, honey. Come on, watch later. All right, now let's get into it, and we're gonna go with the final shebang. I hope you guys' weekend is great. Oh, let me take a picture of.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for liking the video that I did, chapter 1. Thank you so much for the beautiful comments that I've gotten, everyone sharing their stories, people who my story resonate with them and maybe they didn't have the best relationship with their step parent. My heart goes out to you. I see you, I've seen those comments. I will respond, but for now, I'm just trying to get through this series. But thank you guys so much. And this chapter is dedicated to my siblings. I'm sorry, I'm so jittery and happy. I just came from therapy. I love therapy, so I'm in such a great mood. And again,
now if you're in therapy, they will recommend you guys to sit here and have a session of however you want to let it out and tell your truth, because holding on to it does cause issues. So I'm glad she's telling it, but even though it's a year later, but let's go.
This is just my story. This is my truth. It is not meant to bash or air out anybody. I can't help that if I'm telling you guys my history, if there's anything bad that comes across as bashing. No, that's just my truth. That's just my history. So even though I don't have a relationship with my siblings and I don't plan to.
Come on, don't start. Don't start.
Wix gives you the freedom to tell your story.
With a love you, girl, but you know we're gonna get to it.
Plan to ever have one with them again. I still love them and have love for them and wish them the best and want the best for them. So I really don't want anyone to think that that's my intention here. Because I'm talking about 4 people, this may be a little disjointed. So I apologize for that. My siblings. Gosh. So I was closest with my stepbrother, obviously. We are 6 months apart. I love my stepbrother. I look forward to seeing him, the most, other than, my bio dad, because we were so close. We had so much fun together. We used to get into trouble together. I have some really great memories from childhood. Not that many, I was young. But I do remember one time going to the movies. My mom, my biological mother, took my stepbrother and I to the movies, and we saw Pocahontas. So I know there was there's some bad blood history, you know, between the parents and everything. But I mean, like, maybe it wasn't so bad that, you know, my stepmom allowed my mom to take her son to the movies with me. So and my mom used to take us places. So it was pretty nice because he was my brother. I referred to him as my brother. I'd known him my whole life, so I'm very close with him. And the niece is a year older than me and him. So I'm 33. He has to be 34. She must be 35.
I think she's talking about the one that's with Destiny. I believe that's who she's talking about.
Or turning 35. I don't know. It's just kind of sad, but yeah, we were all kind of like really close. My younger sister here is 27, so she's 28, and then my younger brother, I think he's 30. I don't know. So I wasn't as close with them. I don't have too many like stories and stuff like with my half brother and half sister, just because I spent most of my time with my stepbrother and the niece. When they lived in Atlanta, I always like wanted to like have like, I don't know, like a bed, a bunk bed, something in my sister's room so that I could have like my own place, because when I would come visit, there would always be like a little bit of tension in the beginning, just because I was putting somebody out of their room. It was always my older brother, and then when the niece came along, it was her. And she was a lot quieter about it because she had gone through her own trauma and stuff and foster care and everything like that. She was, she didn't make a big deal about giving up her room so that I could stay in her room. She was always really sweet and kind about it. And my brother, he wasn't like ugly or anything. It was just like, oh man, like kids, like I have to give up my room. But that did cause some friction in the beginning, so I always hated that. I have a really sweet memory of my older brother when I went to, when I went to go visit them in Atlanta one time. He really wanted some Air Force Ones. He really wanted some Air Force Ones. They were like big at the time. He wanted the shoes. I don't know if they could afford them. I was not I don't know. I was really young. But he didn't have any. And I had a cousin at the time who had just bought a new pair of Air Force Ones. And his old pair, he was like, I don't want them. They're worn, whatever. And he let me have them. And I remember coming to visit and giving him those Air Force Ones, and he was so happy. And I was so happy because gift giving is one of my love languages. I love giving gifts. So that made me really happy. I have such a sweet memory of that. And he like took a Sharpie and like colored all over the Air Force Ones. It was like a thing that they did in their school in Atlanta or whatever. I don't know, but he was happy. I have really sweet memories of us as kids. Like we would go and play with the neighborhood kids, get into some trouble. Like we had fun. I mean, we had a great time when they lived in Atlanta, which was awesome. And then when they moved to Harvest, still good times continue. And because I was older, like preteen, that's when you start liking boys. My older brother is very cute, so he had a lot of cute friends, and I loved hanging out with him and like going to hang out with his friends because all his friends were so cute, and it was so much fun. And then the niece and I, we actually had like the same taste in boys, so we always like fight over his friends, which was I don't know, it was fun. And he always had a girlfriend, and he used to have like long hair, and I just remember playing in his hair. Ooh, funny story. When we were younger, there was one time, because his hair used to be longer than mine. He used to have long, beautiful hair. Guess I didn't like that, and I like cut one of his braids off because he had like pigtails. Oh my gosh, his mom was so mad. Like, as she, like, of course, but she was so mad. Sorry, funny story. But anyway, back to the harvest time. Yeah, like I would hang out with them and their friends. The family that they lived with, they had 2 daughters. I would hang out with them. We had good times. We'd go to the skating rink. And we would go. I remember one time I went to the skating rink, and it was like for a New Year's thing, and they like dropped us off and let us stay there until midnight, or like, I don't know, 12:15 or something. And it was so much fun because like the parents weren't around.
Hold on, let me fast forward. She had
so much fun.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit.
I remember like when I would, around my birthday, I would always ask my bio dad if I could come down so that I could have like a birthday with my parents in Nashville and then have a birthday with my family down there. 9 times out of 10, I would say like 9.8 times out of 10, it never happened. I never saw them around my birthday, which kind of sucks, but, and then.
So I wonder what.
Hey there, no need to adjust your TV, or more likely your phone. You're watching a recycled commercial. See, at Mint Mobile, we're always looking.
Kind of leaned into relationships, you know, adjacent to my siblings. So my brothers' wives or kids' moms. Same thing with like my little sister. I never really, it was only my older brother and my little sister that I ever met their like boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, wife, or anything. And my little sister, she had, you know, a few boyfriends that I met, but I get to know them just because I wanted some type of connection with my siblings because I was not getting anywhere with them. So I was like, maybe if I'm close with the wife or close with the boyfriend, they'll want to be like close with me. I don't know. That was my mindset. That was my logic. Funny story with my little sister. She actually had a boyfriend one time, and I did this with my little sister back home, my brother here. So she had a boyfriend, and I wanted to get to know him. So I was asking him questions. I wanted to get to know him, and these are the questions I asked. Like, oh, you know, how old are you? You know, do you want to go to college? What college do you want to go to? What do you want to study? Oh, if you want to study that, is it because of your parents? Do they do anything similar? Like, these are the questions I was asking. I didn't know or realize as I'm talking to this young man that my stepmom and my sister are getting irritated, mad. Like, stop asking him questions. Why are you? And I'm just like, what the heck? I'm just trying to, like, you know, get to know him. Like, I'm not asking him anything crazy. They went off, or my stepmom went off, and she's like cussing and yelling, goes into another room. So then I'm sitting there talking to the niece, and I'm like, sorry, I don't even know what's going on. Like, why is everybody getting upset with me? I'm just trying to get to know him. I don't feel like so then I'm looking at the young man. I'm like, I'm sorry, did I ask you anything inappropriate? And he's laughing. He's like, no, it's good. So the whole situation is confusing. So then I said, well, I won't ask anybody any questions. That's what I said. Around the corner comes my stepmom screaming, you're not going to talk to me like that in my motherfucking house. La, 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 la. Like, went off on me. And she cussed me out and went off on me in a way that she never had in my entire life. And I was scared and upset because even my own mother has never spoken to me like that. I got my stuff and I left. And my bio dad was at the grocery store at the time. He came back as I was getting in the car, crying, telling him what happened. And I don't really remember what happened. I just remember I got in my car and I left. Like, I told him what happened. He went in the house, got in my car, and I left. And nobody called me or tried to check in with me. My sister didn't call me or anything. And I was like really hurt by that because I was just trying to get to know the young man. I just wanted to, I don't know, be a part. My intention has always been to like be a part of their lives in whatever way that I could. So it was really disheartening sometimes that I would run into situations like that where I am coming from a good place, trying to get to know someone or trying to be a part, and then it gets flipped on its head, and then all of a sudden there's like all this ugliness coming at me. And that made it really hard for me to kind of pursue a relationship and cultivate relationships with my siblings, continue to do so. Just because, especially my little sister, like I said, she's a golden child. So my stepmom was hypersensitive to any relationship involvement I had with her. And a lot of times when she would get upset with me, it was something with my little sister. Like, I don't know why. And my little sister and I, we actually have the same middle name, Chanel. My name's Lexi Chanel. As a kid, I thought that was really cute because I was like, oh my God, we have the same name. Oh my God. And then as I got older, just because of how I was treated by my stepmom and how she treated my sister in relation to how she treated, it started to feel eerie. I was like, are you trying to replace me, lady? Like, did you name her that because you're trying to like replace? Like, it's starting to feel weird. I asked my mom about it. I was like, hey, did she ever ask you or like let you know that she was going to give her the same middle name? And my mom was like, nope. So then it didn't really feel like a namesake type of thing because she didn't ask. She just kind of like gave her my middle name. And then I don't know. That always, I don't know. It didn't really sit right with me after a while. When I was a kid, loved it. As I got older and things transpired, I really started to not like that we had the same middle name. Just because I kind of felt like I was always in some odd competition with her, even though she was like 6 years or 5 years younger than me. And I was just like, why can't she just be my little sister? Why does it feel like we're being like pinned against one another? So I didn't really have a super close relationship with her, and I really wanted to. There was like a few years back, maybe like, I'm going to say like 4 years back, I actually apologized to my little sister for all of the bad things that I said about her mom and her dad. Like, oh, I can't stand them. I don't ever want to see them again. Like, just things like that. And I just apologized to her because I was like, I was angry and went off, and I blocked them, and then I would block her. I would block all the siblings. When I got mad, everybody got the block. And I would block her, and I apologized to her just because I can understand how it'd be hard to have a relationship with a sibling if they are always kind of in it with the parents, if they're always fighting with the parents, and they're not even a sibling that's there 24/7. So I can understand how she could have had any type of ill feelings towards me for that. So I apologize to her for that. And she was receptive to that, which I appreciated. And I've never had any like bad blood with her. Honestly, every time I would block the family, it was always my little sister and my half brother. So my half brother and half sister that would never say anything. Like they would never come at me and say like, you're being woe is me, or you're playing victim, or la, or have any type of ugly opinion about why I did not want to speak to the family. They were all Switzerland. Like, they just didn't say anything. And then when I would come back to the fold, after I would reach out and whatever else so that we could have a relationship, they were kind, sweet. They never said anything ill or ugly or tried to get into it with me, which I always appreciated. Which is why, like, and I'll talk about this when I talk about the dinner scene. When she called me a bitch, I was like, you've never called me out my name, bro. Like, you've never, like, I don't have any issue with you. And when she was like coming at me at the dinner, I was so confused because I was like, you've always been Switzerland. And when my little brother was quiet, I was like, yeah, why are you not acting like him? That's how you guys usually act when there's stuff that goes down between me and the parents. Like, why are you piping up? Like, it was very weird. Because yeah, I never had any ugliness or anything with my younger siblings. So yeah, that was strange. But I really do feel bad that because of, I don't know that I feel bad. I really do hate that because of what everything that happened and transpired, that we no longer have a relationship. We're no longer close. We were never like super close, but whatever closeness we had, it was gone. And in true fashion, they obviously never reached out to me, tried to talk to me, tried to like that never happened. Every time there was some ugliness with the family, or with not the family, but ugliness with my parents, my step-parent, my stepmom, and my bio dad, they never reached out to me. Like, I never felt like a sibling. Like, when they would get whoopings, like, oh, we'd all go to that sibling, like, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, that sucks, But if it was me, it was like, who cares? I guess because I wasn't around as much or whatever. It did hurt me though, because
now whoop time. Now whoop time. You don't hurt his feet. So what?
Actively tried to have a relationship with them. I actively tried to get to know them. Friends, like, and then did that with her as well. So I don't know, because she and I were like in the same boat and she was treated really badly. Like, we had that kinship. So I was extremely hurt that she just, didn't even acknowledge that was like really messed up. So that was kind of the end. I didn't invite her to my wedding. I know she was very hurt by that. But yeah, that was pretty much the downfall for she and I. So issues with the niece, issue with the little sister. My younger brother never really came around the family. He said the family was just drama. Everyone was getting into fights. There was always something going on. He didn't like it, so he just did not come around. And he just didn't. Like, from 16 on, I didn't really see him, talk to him. Didn't know the kid after he turned 16. Didn't have much to do with him. Love him to death. Hilarious kid, but yeah, he didn't really come around. So, I mean, no issues with him, which was great. I mean, so it is what it is. But yeah, there weren't any issues really with the siblings until they got older. I truly understand, why things kind of happen the way they did with us, because of their parents, because of, even me and my actions. I have to take some accountability too. I would say horrible things about my bio dad. I mean, horrible things. Like, I always.
Here's the thing. I feel like she explained to everybody why their relationship fell apart. And it could be because of things that happened. And I feel like, okay, she's going to therapy, but everybody else really do need to go to therapy with her as well, so they can see what the real issue is. And I wish her the best. She posted anything else, we're going to talk about it. I'm waiting on Ashley and Tamar with their podcast. Child, I got through for a loop today. So I'm sitting here minding my business, trying to figure out what we were going to talk about. I woke up a little late, okay? I'm going to do this at 11:30. And I woke up late. And I was like, oh, man, I might as well just go live now, right? Honey, Keke Wyatt ex-husband came out and said that she was ancestral. That man she was with that was in the church is her cousin. And that she's crazy. Oh, he said a lot of things. We're going to watch it. Now, it's an hour-long video. Hold on, y'all. We go to it. He said a lot. All right, this is copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use, purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright status and by a right.
Hey, you guys. I'm sorry I had to come back.
Non-profit educational or purposeful use tips and honest in the favor of fair use. Okay, so this is her third husband. Her first husband, who she married when she was 18 and had majority of her children. The first, I think 4 or 5 at the time, that's the one she took up and hit him with offended herself because he was putting his hands on her. Her second husband, Michael, cheated on her with a gospel singer. I don't even know how that's going, because we ain't heard no more about them. And it seemed like the girl career went downward after that relationship ended, because that's when the oldest son that he is claiming was basically had cancer around that time. Then she met this guy that she went to school with. He always liked her and loved her. And everyone that saw him felt like, he looked like, a little, what they call, excuse me, a little zesty. That's what they were saying about him. He was with her for quite some time, and he loved her and everything. And I said, okay, well, Keke happy. She had their second son, their son together, that is now sick, that the doctor told her she just shouldn't have any more kids. He's going to have issues. This is his father, the youngest child that's, been fighting for a minute, for, always sick. So this is his father, Zachary David. So Zachary David decided to make him a YouTube channel. I'm not sure if it's the only video he got. We'll see after that. And he decided to tell a lot of things about Keke and tell his truth. And this is what he had to say, so we're going to play it.
On here because the video ended and I accidentally cut it off. And but I wanted to come back on here and finish what I was saying.
2 videos.
And so I want to tell you guys that I haven't been able to see my children for over a year. I was only able to see my son. I left, again, as I was stating in my testimony, I left in November the 4th, 2023, November the 4th or so, 2023. And I did not see my son, Keke, until the end of June, which was the divorce court for me and Keke Wyatt, where
okay. So
we have the divorce finalized.
Yes, he took it over here. Oh, yeah. We'll expand it. So basically, I guess this how
I wasn't able to talk to him and see my kids. It was impossible for me to call her because I reached contact with her because of the maniac, her maniac ways, the demonic, the belittling, the verbal abuse that's done for life, as I stated. And so at this particular time, I wasn't able to talk to them anyway because her and her cousin were living together. Oh. Call it allegedly, or whatever you want to say. November the 3rd, I'm sorry, the 4th or so after I left, 3 weeks later.
Now we know that Keke does have her episodes and be spazzing out. We know that. We've seen that. Sir, you should have known that, because when I watched the show, I noticed that Keke was doing most than usual. I'm like, come on, Keke, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And she had, I mean, when you watch her show, like, she was, but okay.
Larry was living there in the house. She had moved Larry in, which is her cousin, Larry Weathers. And he was married, still married to his wife, Ebony Weathers. That's these guys. Okay. I'll put that picture back up here in a minute. But
I haven't seen her with him though.
Forgive me, my camera is over here. So if I'm looking over here, it's just better for me. The way I have my camera, you got a bigger picture, but I'm looking at myself. But the camera's over here, so don't pay any attention to that. So anyway, I was not able to, when I left and I had to leave for the last time, as I expressed, my oldest son was bumping into me. She had confronted my oldest son. I was the stepfather, his stepfather, for stealing her money. And he had been taking out over $100 a day.
This the one, I believe that I had the cancer, and he, you know. Now, how do you know? Now, remember Keke said on the show, all they want to do is just use me for my money. They just want my money. They feel like I'm an ATM. Yes, Keke. Regardless if you're rich or not, then the kids feel like we're walking ATMs around here. We're a walking bank. We're walking Mama SunTrust. We're walking Mama Chase. We're walking Mama Wells Fargo. We're walking Mama Bank of America. But how do we know that he took the $100 and she didn't say, hey, you know, I'm paying you $100 a day for such and such? But let's continue.
And she allowed it to go on for about 7 days. And so he had racked up over $1,000 he had taken from her out of the ATM. He was taking $100 out of the ATM. Plus, him and his girlfriend, Takaya, were spending $250 to $300 every other day.
Baby, Zachary, he was taking that money to make sure that girlfriend was straight. That was his girlfriend. If she say, I want to eat, she's taking her. You know how that goes. If she say, I want to go shopping, he's taking her. If she say, I want such and such, he's taking her, honey. Huh. Don't lie. You know, my mom, right? I got to look, you know. That's how that go.
Expenses were every other day was like $300, $250 was racking up every 2 days of them going out to eat, going to different places, to fun places and stuff, and ordering stuff off Amazon.
I told you.
My second oldest son, again, was the stepfather. That's why I'm talking like this. He had recently, I don't know, 5 or 6 months prior, put the card, his mother's debit card, Kiki's debit card, on his older brother's phone. Raja has had her debit card since he was 14 years old. She allowed him, when Michael Jamar, her ex-husband, left, Raja, she got him a card from the bank, another debit card, his own card. And at 14 had him paying the rent, the lease, the mortgage, or whatever, of the house, and paying bills. And so he would take her.
So she had him become the man of the house. And mind you, with Michael Jabbar left, the eldest son, remember, he was sick. She had to take care of him. He had chemo, he had radiation, all that stuff. He had cancer, remember? So that one became that man of the house. Now, I guess he came in, she got with him to come in and get some order. Because she's like, hey, listen, my son is 14 thinking he's the man of the house. I'm gonna have to get me another man. I get it. I get it. And then she popped out with him. And I was like, oh, okay, where he come from? But it's going to make a little sense. Let's go.
Her car, and he'd buy and do whatever he wanted to. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. He ate whatever he wanted to eat. Steak, lobster, shrimp. It don't matter what. He got whatever he wanted. And in my time being there over 5.5 years, is sometimes 5 or 6 boxes coming every day. Sometimes it was 2. But it was something coming almost every day from Amazon, it seemed like, from Raja, with her money. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. She allowed it, and that's her business. I had no say so. And she was raising the older children, raising monsters. because they were spoiled.
I mean, we know that.
Sometimes she would not give the children money, and Bean did not have her card for all these years. He recently, before I left in 2023, November 2023, again, as I stated, his younger brother, Raja, who had the card since he was 14, he had it put on his Apple phone, on the iPhone, to where he could, buy stuff. He had the card on his phone, so it was the same thing as having a physical card. That recently had happened, just before I left. So Raja was doing whatever he wanted. He went through like 13 cars in 2 months' time. Lying, fake pay stubs.
Here's the thing. She had him thinking he was the man of the house. Michael Jamar is gone. The brother's the eldest. He's sick. He's probably the most responsible one. She's busy being a mother to a sick child, trying to it's a lot.
All this stuff to get it done, to get the vehicles.
Oh,
and doing all this mess, getting checks from CarMax, and all this foolishness.
In Atlanta, it's easy to get a check for a car, another one for an accident. It's easy. Atlanta is the hub of accidents. Now, they say they one of the worst drivers. Y'all ain't lying. They drive like that because when they get tired of that car, they know income tax coming up. They want to get another one. They get the check and then they go get the other one. They ain't got to spend their income tax. I'm telling you what I know. No shame.
That they could, they knew it would put them in prison, put them in jail. Fraud. And so I couldn't say anything about this. I knew all along. She was so ignorant. He'll tell her mom, deposit this check from me, from CarMax or whatever. Oh, okay. How did you get this? Dummy.
Oh, wait.
Just ignorant.
Wait a damn minute. You didn't have to call that lady that. Now you snitching on the man. You're telling everybody that he got a check from CarMax, sir. And you just called her ignorant. What does it make you? you part of it too, because you just sat your ass right there looking and they said nothing. Oh, well, they ain't got nothing to do with me. They older. Let me tell you something with me. I know this was hurting me and I don't care. Back then it used to be they didn't care if they were 14 and up. Like, day in their life, you get me. Now it's like, I'm not doing that, but that's on you. What? This is why women take after the children are grown, especially boys. First of all, sir, you just don't. Hold on, let me get it together. You just called this woman ignorant, but you laid with her and procreated. She wasn't ignorant then. Keke, I'm tired of you getting these men that be playing in your face. Stop giving them churn. Don't just marry them because they look good, smell good, and you get pregnant. Don't give them no cootie cat. Just take a while longer, girl.
And so, with all that being said, she confronted she confronted Bean. He was the only one that was called into the room. He was the only one that was called into the room and confronted him about taking her money. Now Raja, on the other hand, for the most part, she never confronted Raja. She allowed him to do whatever. He buy stuff, he buy whatever he want. And it's just when it got outrageous sometimes, I remember there being times, we were on our way to the airport and all these different vehicles. He had gotten a Mercedes-Benz from CarMax.
Keep saying CarMax today. Put him in too much trouble.
She noticed he had withdrawn $1,500 after she left for work. I was driving her to the airport. She had a show. And she said, "What are you doing? You just took out $1,500 and you didn't call me and ask me for what?" Oh, Mom, I got to fix this oil pan. I got to fix something on the truck. Didn't even say anything to her. He was that bold because he had been spending her money. Now, meanwhile, I didn't let Raja know, but Bean knew.
He wasn't bold for spending money. He was bold because he's been the man of the house and she gave him that title. And she just said it was boundaries because he knew his mother was busy with a lot. So he took advantage of that.
Knew my oldest son, Mimi knew, but I kept at least $15,000 cash in my car. I had a safe in my car. I also had 2 different accounts. And Miss Wyatt, when I came into the marriage, she told me, she said that she would like to be private, you know, with her money and everything. I said, I'm not here for that. No, when I would take her to the bank, she walked up by herself. That's none of my business. I'm not there for that. Okay. Again, excuse me if I'm looking off. The camera is over here. And but this is better with me talking, just doing it this way. So y'all don't pay no attention to that. I'm explaining that I'm nipping this in the bud because it's actually foolishness, but I have to nip this in the bud as before I go into full-time ministry. And so this is the day that I had to leave that house forever. And God set it up. He used the older kids, Bean and Raja, primarily Bean at the time. And so, and Raja. And so she brought Bean into questioning for taking her money that day that I had to leave and stealing her money. He began to lie. He lied even on my older sister, saying that he had to get edibles and he had to send all this stuff to Arizona. And he had to he had to send all these things and whatnot, lying on her that this is where the money was going to. And it was him ordering stuff off the internet, clothes, you name it, going out to eat, spending it, different spots, fun spots that they're going to, and without saying anything to her. And so, I'm sorry, Mom. She said, well, then why were you, if you spend it $200-$300 a day, you and Takai, why are you taking out $100 a day? Well, I was just taking it out because I didn't want you to be mad. I want to take out too much. It was just a bunch of mess. And so Raja ended up coming in the room. And so he's coming in the room to so-called take up for his older brother. And because Raja was his mother, she looked at him like that was her God. That's why she allowed him, all the children, to do whatever he wanted to do. You know, he didn't have to ride.
I don't think she looked at him like that. I think he was more in competition with the son. But there are mothers who look at their children like that as well. So I don't know, but it sounds like you knew you coming in trying to control these. The other ones are grown, so you coming in trying to control from, I think 15, 17 and down, and coming in this what it's gonna be. That's the problem. Where she already didn't set the boundary. That's her fault. And now you snitching on the boys and giving that you in competition with Keke with the son. That's a child. But I see where he said he had enough. But what?
John, the older children, they didn't have to respect nobody but Keke, their mother. She'll jump on them. She'll put her hands on them, slap them, beat them down, you know, whatever. But anybody else saying anything to her kids, the thought was, you know, she'll kill them. She'll take them out. You know, I'll kill you for messing with my children. For if you say one word to my kids, you know, her children were her God, but Raja was her God. And so she allowed him to just do and so she created a monster. Plenty of times, there's this particular story. My oldest son was with Mimi, and they were in the Suburban, and he always was involved with road rage. He hated most human beings, people. He didn't like people. And the only people he liked was someone that would kiss his behind. And I was always kissing behind. I kissed all my children behind. It wasn't fake. It was love. But you get sick and tired. You know, I love my children. I look past them being spoiled and them having these monstrous characteristics. But she caused it by the way she raised them. She raised them to not have to respect anybody but her and everything like that. One particular occasion, my kids came home and told my oldest son, Mimi, they were probably afraid. Raja, there was a lady he was following. She didn't get out of the way quick enough. He was trying to bully her he had a big old Suburban that belonged my wife, her Suburban. And he followed the woman home and did donuts in her yard, in her flower bed, and tore up her whole yard. Oh. And the children were worried, Mimi and Bean, anyone could have came out with a firearm and laid them down, out of the house. It could have been deadly. And stuff like this happened, calling women in Kroger's in different places, the B word, the BITCH word. 40-year-old black woman, 50-year-old black, and she could have had a son in the parking lot. She could have had a son in the store or anything, and it would have been over. You're getting chased home on the freeway because he done pissed somebody off or did some type of road rage foolishness, and calling his mother, saying he had to call the police. He's afraid somebody's trying to follow him home, that they're going to try to kill him because he has done something foolish. He done flicked somebody off. He done did this and that. And he's going over 100 miles an hour trying to get away from them now. So he would do stuff, but then be a coward and not be able to back it up, and want somebody, put his mother and me or anybody else in jeopardy to have to defend him. And so this young man, when I turned 21, I'm gonna get a gun. And we weren't mad at each other or anything at the time, but I remember it was just a little discussion. He said, "Yeah, Zach, you too big. I would have to shoot you." Oh, I grew up around Detroit, Michigan. I live in the suburbs, but every time I went out, somebody was getting killed. Individuals, 2 or 3 people getting shot to death. I've had people shot and killed standing 20 feet away from me. The bullets rang out. 15 shots from a 40 caliber handgun. I've been at the cabaret years ago when I was with friends and with the wrong crowd, and a birthday party at a cabaret in Detroit, Michigan, and the bouncers put drug dealers out and they roughed them up, throwing them out. They went back to their cars, got sawed-off shotguns and AR-15s, and came back, shooting everybody, shooting the bouncers. And because I am a big guy, I look like a bouncer. I had to go run and dive into the coat closet and tell the doorman, lock it up before we get killed. Because they would have killed me thinking that I was a bouncer. They were shooting all the security because of how big I was. So I'm giving all this information to tell you how serious this stuff was. So I'm a gentle giant, but I'm not no pusher. I'm like a real life Rambo. When you go to these car shows and stuff, you need about 200 rounds of ammunition and the Tommy gun or Uzi. And so I'm not going to get into what I carried or what I had or any of that, but I'm not the one. I am a man of God. But you remember the movie Rambo, he told everybody, he said he was a nice guy. He said, I didn't do anything. And at the end of the day, everybody got laid down. So I have to run away from stuff and separate myself. I got time. We don't tolerate bullies. We don't tolerate the games, and we separate ourselves from the foolishness because that's Satan's agenda, to try to get you behind bars or to get you in your grave. And so too many people have died. Too many people I've known. And
you just snitched on the baby now. So let's really see what he had to say, because somebody said he had some receipts.
Yeah, I've been in circumstances, and the biggest and the baddest, and even some months ago, I told friends of mine, I said, listen, God said I'm not to be in any circumstances, environments where I have to fight or where I have to deal with a situation or violence, anything like that. God has me for full-time ministry, And you guys can't put me into anything I don't need to be. Well, my sister got punched in the mouth. She's not my biological sister. She's like a sister to me through my brother, my little brother Pierre, my former pastor's son. And so his wife ended up, my sister, his wife, she ended up getting punched in front of me by a member of the family, an uncle, who was supposed to be the baddest man in town, known for beating people up. And guess what? He got laid down. I had to restrain him, and he got laid down. And God don't want me in those type of situations. And I bless his name. I have to say all of this. I have to get all this out because we're just keeping it real, okay? So just because a person is nice and just because they're easygoing does not mean that they are pushovers. And that is who I am. I am not a pushover. And so I fear the Lord. I love the Lord. And I repent when I'm wrong or if I do wrong. And so anyway, I told that story to say that I have wisdom, even while I wait for wisdom. I have enough discernment to understand that you have to be careful. So anyway, going back into this, she dealt with the older son, and he's apologized, mom, and and she accepted and everything, and it was not even a slap on the wrist or whatever. I kept my mouth closed because I didn't have a voice. Well, anyway, they left the room, and they went out there. Raja sat around the corner, but before he had left out the room, he called my sister fake, Maria, talking about I tried to talk to her. He tried to talk to his auntie, my older sister, and she was being fake. And so he lied on my sister. And then he said, I don't like being around any fake people. And so, which was referring to me that he didn't like being around. I'm in the room and I'm fake and everything. And so he left the room. Bean did, and his older brother did too. Well, he went out there and sat down. Bean went out over, like going over towards his place or his room or whatever. And Raja sat in the chair. Well, I came over there and started talking to Raja, and he was afraid because he had just called me fake. And he started bringing up, well, you restrained mom. I don't know if you'll restrain us or you gonna restrain me, because he was talking crazy. And
well, why did you restrain Keke? This is a mess. Why did you restrain Keke like in front of the boys? What? Snitched on the boy. Then you restrained us. Lord have mercy. It ain't funny, y'all. I'm laughing because I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Honey, let me tell you something. While they were filming that show, they needed to film this. This would have been a talk of the internet on reality television. I'm just being honest.
And I'm in his, I'm in his face. I'm talking to him. I'm just like, Raja was, just keep it. Never threatened. Never talking about he had a dream that I restrained him and all this stuff. These kids, he would call me broke ASS. Yeah. I'm tired of these broke A, N-I, you know the word, N-I-double-G, and to refer to his biological father and me. When, like I said, I had 2 accounts, and I kept like $15,000 in the trunk of my car. Whenever they needed something, put $500 in his hand. No, thank you. Not even a thank you. Talking about he lost money of work. He never worked. He didn't have a job or anything. And he some little job he supposed to have started. He lost $500 to make. I put it in his hand, but not even a thank you. Being his older brother, most of the time I'd have to give Raja money because he had the card. He would tell me, oh, I don't need that, Zach. I have the card, his mother's card, debit card. And so it was monsters, the older children in the house. Being Mimi, anytime they needed money, they knew they'd come to their daddy. I was daddy until I stood up for myself because I was always kissing they behind. They wasn't used to me saying anything. I couldn't tell them to wash the dishes. I couldn't tell them to take out the trash. Don't tell me nothing.
Sir, you can't be a father if you not laying down the law. They knew to walk over you. You didn't tell them no. You couldn't tell them to wash dishes. You couldn't say, "Hey, give me that phone." So they just got no respect. You couldn't say, "You know what, Keke, from now on, this is what I say and how it's going to be. I know that's your money, but you don't give them nothing else. If I find out you gave them something, that's going to be a problem. You should have never gave them nothing anyway. If you couldn't ask them to wash the dishes." Okay.
They didn't even like their own mother telling them anything, but she's in their house and it is, it's going to be a beat down. She's going to jump on you. This woman, Keke, she put a gun on her own son. Because him and his younger sister were fighting. Mimi at 13 years old or something, Bean, the older son, went and got food. He came home. They had some words, I guess. Mimi was like, "Why didn't you get me something?" Or something. And she got, let me see, Bean got in her face or something like that, like, "Shut up, leave me alone," or whatever. And he got in her face, she said, and she told him to back up, and she hauled off and punched him 5 or 6 times, knocked his glasses off and everything. And
okay, if you watch the show, remember where Keke was like, her mama did, it was something with the boy and the mama got into it, and he was like, he didn't want to talk to her no more. She don't know how the certain things that she does and this and that. And remember, the mama said, "Well, I'm not gonna let him disrespect me." That's exactly what she said. "Baby, I'm not gonna let him disrespect me. I'm not gonna." You remember that? That's that moment he talking about that boy showed out in front of his grandma and she kicked him out.
Takai, his girlfriend, was there, and she's yelling, and we run down the steps. We right up in the bedroom, and here Bean done fell on her like a dork. Mm-hmm. And I love my oldest son. Stepfather, it don't matter, these I was married to family, it don't matter. The kid, they just spoiled. And so he falls on her like a dork. He's not used to fighting or anything like that. I'd have been in my brother was a world class wrestler. Okay. He was an Olympic wrestler. My nephew wrestled for Arizona State. We some bad boys. We not the one. Somebody's gonna want to put them bullets in us, and it would be wise to do so versus fighting us. No, we were just keeping it real over here, okay? But and so he falls on her, and so his mother, Keke, she runs and dives and puts her hand into the diaper bag and pulls out her 9mm handgun. And she had the bullets right there. She snapped it. She put the.
Now she didn't share that part. What she shared was, she don't care who you is. You don't touch her mama. That is your grandma. That's exactly what she said. I didn't know all of this happened.
She put the clip in, cocked it back, and had her finger on the trigger, and was holding it 3 feet away from his chest, ready to blow him away. She empty it all in him. She said, "So you fighting my older daughter? You down here fighting you fighting your little sister?"
Oh,
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. She was 13. Bean was like 21, something like that.
Now, this must be a whole different situation, because I remember him and grandma. This the one that they talking about, him and the grandma kind of. I didn't know he fought the daughter.
Like that. You down here fighting your little sister, jumping on your little sister, whatever. And he's telling her, shoot me. I don't want to live anyway. Kill me, I don't want to live anyway. I had to come back on here and give the whole scoop. Okay? I had to come back on here and just tell it like it is and get all this information out. This is my story. Okay. This is what went down in Miss Keke Wyatt's house. Okay. And so it wasn't our house, it was her house. And so she was always calling me broke and all of this stuff. But her money was her money. And you know, I didn't have anything to do with it. I know it was, I don't know however much money she had, that was never none of my business. She didn't know that I had money coming in. That was none of her business. Remember, her money was none of my business. My money was none of her business. Since we're doing it that way, I'm not there for that. I'm there, and so I could drop down $700 weekly. Oh, keep that. Don't say that for dinner tonight. Tip the waitress, because she'll tip the wait for you $500, $600, $350, $400. I'm not rich, okay, but I did have money coming in, and I didn't have to work. I had money coming in monthly, weekly. She didn't know about it, but I didn't know about hers. It's there for love and family, right? And so I'm with you. I'm like, cool, And so anytime the children needed money or something, they knew they could come. The only person I kept that from was Raja, because he loved money, And so, but I had a safe anyway in the whip, he couldn't have got in there, but whatever. Okay. And so, well, he had my keys. He could have, if he found it, or he knew, he could have, taken the safe and just try to saws all it open out. I don't know, whatever. So, but Mimi and them they knew every time I go to the car, I get the cash, let alone bank account. With all that being said, she pulled a gun on this boy, her son. And he's like, she jumped on me. She started hitting me and all this stuff like that. And I'm crying because she ready to kill this boy. Shoot him down. So anyway, she ends up putting him out the house. I ended up talking to her. I ended up going to get my son. He don't walk blocks and blocks away. I end up having to go out my son. He don't walked away from the house. And I'm crying and crying. And I bring him back to that house. And I said, baby, please. I'll take care of it, but don't do him like this. Yeah, my oldest son, because I loved all the children. Okay. That's the type of stuff that went on. So anyway, fast forward a few years later, he's going to the hotel gyms. I repetitiously lift 405, 5 and 6 times for reps. I can do 4 or 5 sets of those, and 315, 15 times, and a max bench press of 500 pounds. But he's got the hotel weights, 25, 35 pounds, hotel weights, and he's a bad man now. In other words, young men filling their oats or what are filling themselves. And so anyway, fast forward back to the situation at hand, her having to get on him for taking her money. While I'm talking to Raja, Bean comes and starts bumping into me. And the reason why he was bumping into me is he's still upset because a month prior, I had to leave and leave the state, go to my sister's house because I had to tell my oldest son, Bean, stop following me around the house. He was upset, talking about why did I get into it with the nurse? I didn't get into it with the nurse. The nurse had given me her hand. I was asking her a question about the baby's medication. Nobody was there. Raja came on in at the end. He didn't even none of that. He just heard me and his mother arguing, her fussing, yelling at me, and then I started. What he didn't know, I was getting cussed out for an hour while I was at CVS. While I was gone, what's taking me so long? And all this trying to get Key's eye medication. Well, I come back home, and she is still cussing, and you didn't have to be gone all that long. And I'm sitting up there waiting at CVS to get his vital, very important, his medication he has to have. And so I asked the nurse, and the nurse gave me the hand. She's doing something or whatever. And I said, and I whispered to Keke at the time. I said, you see that? And I just whispered, oh, she didn't do nothing. What you jumping on her for? To throw me up under the bus with the nurse. And then it's like I did something. And what I did at that point, I exposed her. I said, the way you disrespect me, cuss me out in front of these children, the nurses, the oldest kids don't have no respect for me. The nurses don't have no respect for me. The nurse have to use the bathroom. She's running all the way to the other side of the house and going upstairs if Keke's getting her nails done to give her my youngest son, Keziah, versus giving me the baby because the nurse they didn't have respect for me for how she treated me. She had no respect for me as her husband. None. And so it becomes a thing of how Miss Barbara, what did I do to Miss Barbara? Ain't did nothing. It wasn't even about her. I had whispered to Keke and said, she gave me the hand. And you know, Barbara didn't do nothing. And that's how I got started. Okay? The oldest kid. And so Beans following me around. I don't know if he had a crush on her or what. He liked Miss Barbara. And so he followed me around about, you're a deadly weapon. You got to be careful. You're a deadly weapon.
It sounds like, first of all, it sounds like he ain't telling the whole story or something. He misses some parts to me. Because so the lady just put her hands in your face and take the baby up the stairs.
And you scare people, and like he gonna do something. I finally told him. I was sitting down. He's hovering over me. I said, son, get away from me. Didn't your sister just beat you up 2 years ago, a year and a half ago?
I have to tell it.
What do you think I'm gonna do? Get away from me. Quit following me around. Because I knew if I restrained him or I jumped on him, then Keke is gonna go run and get her gun or go get her knife, and then what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lay everybody down. No, no, and be like this behind prison walls, looking beyond like I'm a dummy. No. So I told him that, and his feelings got hurt. Okay, and so anyway, that's the reason why he bumped into me the last time that I had to leave. That's the reason why he was bumping into me. Okay. Because he had told me when I had came back even from my sister's house in front of his mother, he went to go sit. He didn't even know it, but I was inviting him out for breakfast. I was knocked on his window one day. It was early in the morning and he was taking the kids to school, and I knocked on his window. I came all around the house and it scared him. And I was invited, can I take you to breakfast? And he didn't even know because I was going to confront him away from his mother. And son, we would have seen how bad you really were. Okay, but God don't want that. God didn't call me. I wasn't allowed to be a daddy anyway. Okay, I was raised up. The children get their teeth knocked out of their mouth for the way I've seen these kids disrespect their parents and me and stuff like that. Listen, I'm never violent to the children, any of that. I kissed her behind. I was always kissing her behind, and it was sincere. I loved them. I was trying to teach them, that you're going to cease to exist if you get out here in the real world and you keep doing this. Somebody's going to get you. My younger daughter, Mimi, she's trying to fight people, grown women, 45-year-old black women at the mall. Mm-hmm. Talking about she gonna beat the A and all, not knowing if that woman got a beat her up, got a knife in her purse, or let alone a firearm. And then I have to get a call about my younger daughter not cease to exist. Okay. Well, shortly after she had whooped a Bean and he fell on her and was holding her down, she was stomping the mess, kicking him, whatever. And Keke had pulled the gun on. A couple years later, she was spitting in Kemar, my younger son. He recorded the video. She was spitting in this boy's face. Kemar sent the video to me. He showed me. I had it on my phone. I kind of hinted at it, but I told him I saw the video. I had it on my phone where she's spitting in this boy's face on the bus, calling him all type of bitchs and all this stuff, spitting, flying in his face. Well, he walked away from he walked away from him, and something she kept going on with it or whatever, bullying him, and somehow or another he ended up turning around her, talking about he's scared and this and that. Anyway, he ended up beating her up. Listen, he broke her nose, he got the better of her, and he beat her up. And guess what happened? She was on the bus, unconscious, and we got a call. We were out of town for one of Keke's shows. She was unconscious, not breathing. And Keke's running around the hotel. She had a show. This is before a show, about to lose her mind, and calling Andre and all this on the phone, and everybody praying and everything and all this. Y'all, I'm very embarrassed having to tell all of this. A nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger. I said, God, why'd you do this for me? I believe this was this young lady's last chance. But let's get back to this. So that was the day, the whole reason for me, and I done took a half an hour explaining it. The whole reason for me leaving the first time. And guess what? So when he bumped into me, I started cussing. Back to my son. Bumping into me. Man, I started cussing and going off. I said, here I've humbled myself for 5.5 years putting up with you and Raja with your disrespectful mouths. And here I humble, and he acting like he want to fight. He didn't want to fight me. He was trying to get me to provoke his mother. And I already knew what was going to happen. If I put my hands on that boy, she was going to run to the knife drawer. And I carry a filet mignon. And it wasn't going, we're not going there. You're not going to stab me, Miss Keke. You're not going to kill me. I had thrown her gun clip away a month ago before that happened because I saw something coming.
Well, I'm watching with y'all. I'm detaining my hair child. What the hell? This man said you're not going to stab me, Keke. So you, wait a minute. Oh, my Lord.
I said, you're not going to shoot me? Yeah. I've had the gun, like I expressed, waved at me 45, 50 times. She be calling me bees, broke this, broke that. I'm the one carrying all her bags through the airport, 80 pounds. You know, it seemed like 100 pounds. What? I'm carrying all her luggage by hand. I'm a strong dude. Okay, all through the airport. It don't matter how long. I didn't need a cart. Okay, suitcase, you name it. Okay, and her driver. She said, "You're not my security, You're not my security." That's why I wore what I wore. Tank them. All people talking about black. I was depressed. Tank top, a knockout drag out outfit. In other words, when I went to shows, they like, "Why are we here?" They would laugh at me, like, "Dude, as big as you are, why are we even? We need the police." You know, I am just like my brother, a world-class wrestler. I'm not the one. Not the one. All this bully stuff and all this stuff. And so anyway,
sound like you were insecure when people
dang. I ended up cussing, going off, and I really wanted to teach them a lesson, but I have to go on. Raja called the police. He calls the police right then and there with his arrogant self, his coward self, talking about that I got guns. I'm have them in hostage, hold them in hostage. And this is all on the Ring camera. And she only played chopped up a shorter version of me cussing to make me look bad and showing my older sister and showing everybody. But you didn't show my older son coming, bumping shoulders with me and trying to be Mr. Tough Guy. Now, what if he would have brushed your shoulders, Keke? Would you have stabbed him? You already held that gun 3 feet away, ready to shoot him down dead, okay? Because you don't care about your life and you're a maniac, you're a lunatic, okay? The Ring camera. She has a short recorded clip of me going off on them, and but not being bumping. All that was recorded, and she just played a little chopped up. It's bad when somebody knows what's going on, and there's so much of a liar. She said if her children killed somebody, if they took somebody out, she would go and say that she committed the homicide. That she did it so that they could go free. That's how crazy this woman was. Her children were her God, but her number one God was Raja. Okay? And we're not going to get into the things that Raja did before he got cancer. And a monster. Okay? And so out of love, we're gonna leave it alone. Okay, but this is what happened. This is the last day of me leaving that that house. That was it for life. And so I left, and that was it. And so this is where Larry Weathers and for 3 weeks after I left, she's calling this man who's living with his wife in Kentucky, Ebony. They would come over and visit several times. We'd go out to eat and everything. This is her cousin. And so 3 weeks after I left, she cannot be alone, a lunatic. And so she figures out that I'm not coming back. I'm never coming back. Okay? Smart girl. And so she calls her cousin, who's still married to his wife, has him to come. He comes like 1 or 2 times. The second time, he stays. Him with his opportunist self. Forgive me. He's an opportunist. Him as an opportunist, he saw to take advantage of the situation, to use her money. To get at that bank account. Okay. And so after he locked it in and convinced her and tell her, you got to divorce Zachary. It's got to stop. And his manipulation. 2 manipulators. Okay. She shaved her hair off after I left. Okay. 2 manipulators. And so he convinces her, you got to divorce him and everything. And so once Larry secured that she was getting a divorce. The goal was is for Larry to get his divorce, her to get her divorce. She thought, I think he was already divorced, but he called Ebony after he was telling her he locked it in, asking his wife for a divorce. So this woman stole her cousin away from his wife and had her own cousin to come live with her, and they began an ancestral.
My thing is, what if she did that because you left just to get under your skin and she got to see exactly what she wanted from you and you the one they gave to? Because I haven't heard nothing else about her and the supposed to be allegedly cousin. We didn't even see them kiss. So it's like, what if she used that just to get at you? And it worked.
Relationship, having sex and a sexual relationship, and then said they're going to start a church. Hopefully you guys can see that. It might be backwards. We're starting a church. Y'all guys can kind of put that together. I don't know if it's going to show up backwards on the screen or not, but hey everybody, we're starting a church. And in the video, she's taking the video at her home in her bedroom. She passes the phone to her cousin, Larry Weathers. Okay. And to my partner, we're going to be starting a church in February. And look at this. Look at this mess. Nikki Gilbert goes and does a whole interview on them, and she put a small clip it up, 3-minute clip it. I don't know if it was 3 minutes. She goes to Sound of Atlanta, the name of the church. Y'all remember this? Sound Atlanta. Okay, look, all the receipts are here. Okay, this is Larry Weathers. This is Keke. Now let's get Ebony. Let's get some pictures. Let's do this the right way. Where's my iPad? Y'all give me a second.
They must be getting divorce proceedings papers that came to the house already to where he's located. And the thing is, it's getting nasty. Michael Jamari did majority of this.
Sorry about that, y'all. I don't care if it's a little ghetto. We nipping all this mess in the bud. Dang.
2025, honey. No.
Yeah, I erased all those.
This better not be another Fallon in that Bushy marriage situation, because it's another situation like that. I'm going ham. Because remember, Fallon Pina got with that young man, and he did the same thing. A year or two later, they back together. He said she was a groomer and all this and that, and she accepted a marriage with him. It makes me feel like the bar's in hell sometimes.
Here, we're going to do something like this. Give me a second, y'all. Bear with me. Okay. Okay. All right, where we at? Okay, I'm almost there, y'all. All right, here's his wife. I don't know if it's going to come up backwards.
Duh.
Ebony Unapologetic W. Weathers Unapologetically E. Okay, this is his wife. Larry Weathers' wife. My sister. She was family, you know, because I was married into the family.
Oh, yeah, we don't.
Check this out, y'all. Watch this. Just bear with me.
Have mercy.
Who is this? That's Larry and his wife, Ebony. And guess what they had? They had their own church. It was called Sound Lebanon, Kentucky.
We're going to.
So he took the church name, Sound Lebanon, Kentucky, Sound, and he used that to create Sound Atlanta with Keke, his cousin. Sleeping together in the room, locked in the room with the refrigerator, not coming out of the room, in a sexual ancestral relationship, living with Keke in her bedroom. Excuse me. And you're pastors? You gonna start a church? What is God gonna do to you? What is the Lord going to do to you? Hold on, I'm getting some more. Okay, he was with his wife. Keke called him to come and live and with her, and so the goal was, y'all get divorced, and you get a divorce from Zachary, and the goal was for them to get married. Keke wanted to them to get married, a lunatic. So she wanted to marry her cousin, and was trying to have a baby by her own cousin. Okay, Ebony didn't even know nothing about this. Somebody had to tell her. She didn't even know what was going on. She was still posting on Keke's page. Hey, girl, yeah, you done cut off all your hair, and she's sitting up there with your husband, Ebony. That's my sister. I love her. All right. Let's go to some pictures of the church. Now, mind you, this
like I said, I don't know if he released this last year, but it was just found because I seen shout out to Storm and Rose talk about it. I said, wait, I gotta talk about this because what I feel like she used that man. I mean, let's be honest, lady. We have used our cousins to act like if they don't know, or oh, that wasn't my cousin, that was just, you know what I'm saying, like to taunt the man. Did she go the wrong way? Yeah, because she could have used a friend or somebody in the industry and had a little fun. But I feel like she did what she wanted to do with Zachary. David, that was ruffling his feathers. You left. So this how you feel. I know you leaked this and that, so now I'm finna ruffle your feathers.
I kind of feel bad. I did all this talking about the kids. We're 47 minutes in, but we gonna keep it rocking and rolling, okay? I kind of feel bad because this is the more interesting stuff. Okay. Let's go down here to the church. All right. Y'all bear with me now. Just bear with me. Well, let's bring this up. This is Larry. He had a widowmaker heart attack. What? His daddy had died, I think, back in 2020. 2 years later, he had the same thing his father died from. And I think he was in the pulpit when God struck him. He had a widowmaker heart attack. And Larry died. This guy, Keke's cousin she was sleeping with, allegedly, died. Okay. And they had to resuscitate him on a Sunday, Larry. Okay. And God gave him another chance. And you mean to tell me this is how you repay God, Larry? This is how you repay God, and you don't think there's no hell, and you could just live any kind of way? Where do you think Hitler's at, Larry? Where do you think hell that the devil and his angels are going to? The lake of fire. It ain't none of that. Now, I told you I'm a seasoned veteran. I've been out the body thousands of times. I've had thousands of near-death experiences, been to heaven and to hell. So because you ain't never left your body, you ain't never been to hell, you going to risk that chance, Larry? You know better. No, what it is you don't want to do. People don't want to, they don't want no rules. They want to do whatever they want to do and think they gonna make it in. Think they're going to make it to heaven. You're going to get to heaven anyhow. Saved by grace. Of 2024 is when Larry had enough. He left. Okay, they've been getting into it, all this stuff. Okay. And so Mother's Day 2024. So I guess that was March. Yeah, March. The church, by the way, the church started in February.
It was May.
Right. February, March, April. It ended at the end of April. April, March. So Larry left. He left around Mother's Day, I believe. She took a trip, and he didn't go with her. She came back. His stuff was gone. He was gone. Okay. Allegedly, she was trying to have a baby with her own cousin, Larry. Yeah. The goal is for them to get their divorces and then get married as cousins. That's where this guy comes in. Okay, the bowling alley dude.
Huh?
Handsome guy.
I remember that.
Okay, I'm not a hater. I was proud of her for being with someone that she's not related to. This is sick. Okay, but guess what, honey? All his other women, you didn't talk and find out. Let me throw this out here. If y'all know I'm a prophet. So if I get you this Rolls Royce Wraith, of course she ain't gonna put in his name. I don't think she that stupid. If I lease this Rolls Royce Wraith It's yours as long as you stay here. Here's a question mark. What can I do to get you to stay? Money. Okay? I think y'all understand.
Why is he telling all the church business?
So if you wanna, you got to pay to play. So
we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Just a little.
Y'all freely. Again, the camera's over here. I've been looking over here. Don't pay no attention.
I wanna. So he posted this 3 days ago. I want to read the comments. I know. See, let's read the comments. This live gonna be a little long, but you guys will be okay. Let's read the comments, y'all. So, somebody said, I believe him. She needs to get control of her kids. Somebody said Keke should be ashamed of how she raised her children. She will pay for that. Keke seemed unstable. I believe every word you're saying, brother. Thank you. Restrain whoever leave. You definitely have your voice. I know when I first saw you were too nice and kind to be with Keke. I love her music, but we know for years that her and her mother are a few cards short full of a deck. You come off as a gentle giant. I pray that you find peace. Someone said, thank God you delivered that situation. You are an honest person. How y'all know he honest? We don't know yet. Relax. You can see that from the show that Roger would speak to her mother and her teenage daughter like she grown. You could definitely tell that from the show as well. Now that got to be some truth to it. Child, somebody say the birds on a feather. Her good friend Tamar, they're flocking. Tamar ain't with nobody. Child, these comments. Well, one day you tell your story how you met Keke the marriage evolved after 5 years. The way she have all those kids are trying to avoid something. The woman needs therapy. I pray for your ministry. Great women don't appreciate a man, respecting him as a woman, loving him. That lady was something else toward Michael Jamal Roster showing she wasn't too long in the mall fussing over some broke fake jewelry. I think it was a fake Rolex. Keep that distance. How you know it's a fake Rolex? Kia, kiss Kia. Do you know what a real Rolex look like? Listen, I'm not going to say he lying. I'm not going to say he telling the truth. What Malik's going to say is we just going to sit here and wait and watch. Because that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to talk about it. Now, if it come out there, she tells some truth or something, there's some things that he could say that are true, and there's some things that he could say that are lies. You got to be mindful. He released this 3 days ago. All of this stuff happened of last year. Okay? Now, ain't no time limit on how he wanted to release it and when he wanted to tell his truth. But I believe the divorce paper proceedings got sent. He couldn't say anything, and now he's talking. Okay? Now, let's go to Miss Ebony Withers' page. Oh, honey. The tea popping hot. Okay, wait. Because, honey, she done posted something for January 10th. We're going to get to it. Then we're going to see if they will upload it to your Kent Live. Then we're going to get off here. Dear family, life update. Bye-bye. For 17 years, I shared my life with y'all publicly. Loving you received me. Thank you for your loving and rocking with me last year and the years before that. I shared a lot, written a lot, answered a lot, changed a lot. I walked out the most vulnerable parts of me, hoping that at least one person would prayerfully in some way recognize we are never alone. If I can do it, we all can. Unfortunately, will I continue to be transparent, apologetic, the more intimate parts of my life, friends, family, my new romance, my new career. So, yeah. Honey, she said she felt good about it. Someone said, off work, let's go. Ziggy played Kim. Thanks to everyone who gave me heads up about being mentioned on another interview last night. So I guess he did an interview and mentioned her. She said good morning. She's been, I guess she was on Tasha K. She was like, she just wanted to see him. I guess he was on Tasha K. Y'all better leave Dolly alone. People who only think of one thing at a time. What is your career? Yeah, he basically been out here doing interviews. Seemed like so. She's out here living her good life. She's not worried about him at all. She's living her best life. He's doing interviews. What does that say? I don't know if this one was doing interviews, but he mentioned her. We're gonna have to look and see. Auntie still alive. She ain't alive. Let's go look. Let's see if she done posted something before we go. Going back to the Lastonia into York. No, ain't nobody posted it. Let me try to share it. I just feel like at some point when it comes to Stony, hold on. What, girl? I'm still alive. You got this. All right, y'all. I couldn't find out if Tia Kemp said anything else. Yeah, that was my sister. I told her she stank. She do stank. She'll fine. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll be watching some court case in West Cape, Africa. So it'll probably be around 10 or 12. I gotta go to sleep. Gotta get up. Okay, I got hungry now. Sitting here talking about this, but I hope you guys enjoyed Lit Saturday. Tia Kemp say anything, we'll show her Monday. Yeah. So, and another thing, a lot of people are on here saying that they believe, and this is debate I want to give y'all before we leave. I got two debates I want to give y'all. They believe that, Cardi B is not black. Okay? So, and I want to show y'all a texture of her hair because there ain't no curl pattern in this hair. This is Afro Latina, but what kills me is they sit here and they be like, Erica Minute is black, or Gretchen is black, and she's not black. Cardi is black. Look at that hair. That's black hair. Okay? Now, I have let me know in the comments what you guys think. You think she's black? Has she passed for black? Has she called black women roaches? Yes. She's not the only black woman in New York, newsflash, that called black women roaches. Erica has called black women niggas. And not right, niggas, and what else she called them? And lazy. Okay, so this girl wore this to her birthday get out. The girl in the pink, this is her birthday outfit. Now, a lot of people online are debating if this is appropriate for a birthday party. Okay, so she had a birthday dinner. This is what she wore for her birthday. People came out in support. You know, they came and they had a great time, and this came out on here. Now, what I took from this photo is she's showing it. She's trying to get a happy birthday text, and not only a happy birthday text, and then with a happy ending, she's trying to get a who the fuck you showing that for, and they broke up. Okay? So let me know in the comments what y'all think. Y'all think that was appropriate or not? Inappropriate, I'm sorry, or not appropriate. What do you guys think about Tia Kemp's situation? What do you guys think about Keke Wyatt's husband now coming out after almost a year? And what do you guys think about Cardi B being labeled as a black woman? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys later on. Bye.